Hi everyone, welcome to Ami's Lifestyle. In this video, I will be sharing with you what I made from Monday to Friday for dinner, as well as how I do my meal planning so the dinner can be done in less than an hour. And this video is highly requested on my channel, so thank you so much for your comments and suggesting this video. So let's go ahead and start. So for Monday's dinner, we'll be having the roti, sabji, dal, rice and salad to go with it. And for meal planning for this one, I already cut the vegetables, the dal is been boiled as well as the atta is done for the roti also. So first of all here I'm gonna make the sabji because I will be cooking this sabji into the oven. So for that I took about tablespoon of oil. Into that I will add the mustard seed, methi dana, asafoetida and the little bit of turmeric powder. The reason we want to add the turmeric powder is going to give you the nice color to the sabji, and then after that I'm going to add all the vegetables like the cauliflower, potato as well as the green peas into this, and then add salt, red chili powder and dhania jeera powder. If you are making the sabji like this, you can cut the vegetables ahead of time, but like potato, eggplant, squash, then you want to wait until the last minute when you are making that sabji, otherwise they're gonna oxidize. So here I'm mixing all this stuff and then I'm gonna transfer this into the oven safe plate and let the oven do all the work for you. This way you can do some time managing as well as you don't have to spend hours and hours into the kitchen to make delicious homemade food. So if you're a working woman or stay at home mom, you can use these tips and your dinner will be ready in less than an hour. So here I'm transferring this sabji into the oven safe plate, and as you see I already lined that to aluminum foil. So once the sabji is ready, I just have to take that aluminum foil, throw it in the garbage and still my plate will be clean. So again, I'm not spending the hours into the kitchen, less one thing to clean. So I'm putting into oven for on 350 for about 25 minutes, and meanwhile I'm gonna go ahead and make the Gujarati dal. I already shared the Gujarati dal recipe into my complete Gujarati Thali video, so if you are interested I'm gonna link it down below. And on this other side I'm making the rice. So the rice is cooking on side, the sabji is in the oven, dal is boiling, and on the other side I'm making the roti. So within an hour my whole dinner is ready, and there you go friends, Monday is all done. So for Tuesday's dinner, we were having the bangan bharta and millet roti. And I have already shared this bangan bharta recipe in my other video, which I'm going to link it down below. But as far as the meal planning for this one, I roast the eggplant in the weekend. So the eggplant was ready to go. And this particular dinner didn't take me long to make it. And I was serving this with the millet roti. But if you want, you can always serve this with the naan parathas. And also I serve with the buttermilk and the papad on the side. So friends, the Tuesday's dinner, it's all done. So for Wednesday's dinner, I will be making the mung sprout, Gujarati curry, roti and rice. For meal planning for this one, I sprout the mung couple of days before, and the day I was ready to use it, I steam them. So you can steam them into the pressure cooker or use the double boiler like I'm using here. After that, I took about tablespoon of oil into the pan and add about tablespoon of chopped garlic. If you want, you can add the green chilies also, but I'm not using it here. And then I will go ahead and add the mung sprout into this and add salt, red chili powder, dhania jeera powder, and the turmeric powder. Mix everything very well, and at this point if you feel like the masala is getting dry, then you can just go ahead and sprinkle a little bit of water into it and make sure all the spices is cooked. And at the end I'm just gonna squeeze a little bit of lemon juice in it, and that's it. This is the perfect healthy recipe if you want to give it to the kids for school snacks or school lunch. That's also nice. I sometimes make the wrap out of this, just have the roti, add this mung into it, as well as some um, pickle onions, and just make the wrap out of it and give it to kids. It's like I say, it's super healthy. And on this other side, now I'm just gonna go ahead and make the Gujarati curry. I believe I have already shared the Gujarati curry recipe on my other video, but it's basically about a cup of regular plain yogurt, as well as just add half a cup of besan into it. Mix it really well, make sure there is no lumps in it, and then I'm gonna add the salt, sugar, as well as the little bit of citric acid just for some tartness. And this is the Gujarati curry, so of course Gujarati curry is always sweet and sour, so that's the reason I'm adding the sugar into it. And then I'm just gonna let this boil just for a few minutes, and then I'm gonna make the tempering for that. And for tempering, I always take the ghee. So when you are making the Gujarati curry, you always want to make sure that you use the ghee and not the oil. Into that, I'm adding a little bit of cumin seed, methi seeds, asafoetida, red chili, dry red chilies, and of course, this time when I went to Indian store, I remembered to pick up this curry leaves. So you cannot make the Gujarati curry without the curry leaves. So I add all that. And now I'm gonna add this tempering into the curry, let that boil. And Gujarati curry compared to the Gujarati dal, um, you can make that faster. It doesn't take that long to cook. So after that is been cooked, my mung is ready, and now I'm just gonna go ahead and make the roti, and Wednesday's dinner is ready. So as you see, friend, doesn't take much time to make the dinner, but still you can have the homemade fresh food on the table in no time. So for Thursday's dinner, I will be making the bindi sabji, roti, and the cucumber raita on a side. Out of all the sabjis, bindi is my most favorite one, and for meal planning, I cut the bindi ahead of time. So here I took about tablespoon of oil. Into that add mustard seed, asafoetida, as well as the turmeric powder, and then add the bindi on top. After that, I will add the salt, dhania jeera powder, as well as the red chili powder. Mix everything very well, and then again I'm gonna make this sabji into the oven. The reason I like the oven for all my dry sabji is because I'm not using as much as oil as I supposed to be. So I'm cutting on the oil, as well as if you have made this sabji before, you know that how much oil it's required, as well as you have to cook that on the higher flame. That means every few minutes you are going and checking. So by making into the oven, we are cutting on the oil, as well as we don't need to go every few minutes to check on it. So I'm cooking that on 350 for about 20 minutes. And on this other side, I'm making the cucumber raita. For that, I grate the cucumber, squeeze out all the water. And you don't need to throw that water. You can apply that on your face, or you can just drink it. That would be good also. So here I took about 1 cup of plain yogurt, add salt and sugar to taste, as well as I'm gonna add a little bit of dry cumin powder. So I dry roast the cumin, make the powder of it, and now I'm gonna add the cucumber into it, mix everything very well, and my raita is all done. On this other side, I'm gonna go ahead and make the rotis. So meanwhile, my sabji will be done. So now sabji is done. You can serve it just like this, but I'm gonna take it to the next level. And here I took the same pan. You don't need to add any more oil into this. I'm gonna transfer all the sabji into that, and then add a little bit of amchur powder, as well as the garam masala powder. And we just need like about a half a teaspoon of garam masala and amchur powder, not much, because we just want to enhance all the flavor into this. And after mixing both of them, I'm gonna add about a half a cup of plain yogurt into this. And by adding the yogurt, again, this sabji will taste so good. And when you are mixing the yogurt into the sabji, you just want to make sure that you keep mixing it so the yogurt can get mixed into the bindi and not stick to the pan, because we are not going to add any of the water or anything into this. So after mixing everything really well, just keep it on the medium low flame just for about 5 minutes, and that way all the flavor and everything will get mixed into the bindi as well as the yogurt. So this is it, friend. I'm just gonna garnish that with a little bit of cilantro on top, and my Thursday's dinner, it's all done. And now it's Friday fun time because everybody wants to take a break from roti sabji. So here I'm making the vada pav, and again this is my most favorite one. So for meal planning for this one, I boiled the potato ahead of time, and my older son decided to come and help me in the kitchen, so he's on the other side. I took about a tablespoon of oil into the pan, add mustard seed, asafoetida, green chilies, as well as the curry leaves, and then I'm gonna go ahead and saute this for a few seconds, and then add turmeric powder, and then add the boiled potato into this. And I know if you are in India, your full meal is usually in the morning, and at nighttime it's lighter. So you can switch this around. If you are in India watching this video, you can make all this during the daytime. But here in the state, our full meal is always at nighttime because that's where everybody gets together, and lunchtime is usually very light. After that, I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and add the cilantro on top, mix everything very well, and I'm gonna let this mixture cool down completely. On this other side, I took about cup of besan. Into that I'm gonna add the salt, turmeric powder, and red chili powder, add water, and this batter we need thicker than the pakoda batter. So when you are mixing it with the water, you just want to make sure that you don't add way too much water into this. Just add a little bit of the time and make sure the batter is a thick consistency. With the help of spatula, I will make sure there is no lumps in it, and after that I'm gonna go ahead and add the water into this. And then I'm gonna keep this mixture on the one side for about 20 minutes, and meanwhile our potato mixture will be room temperature too. On this other side, the oil is getting hot, so when I'm ready to make the pakoda, I'm gonna add pinch of baking soda into this batter. And if you're making for party or guests are coming, then you can make the pakoda ahead of time also. And from potato mixture, I shape them into the ball. You can make smaller, bigger, however you like them. And I'm gonna dip that into the besan batter, and now I'm gonna deep fry it. When you deep fry them, let them cook for at least 2 to 3 minutes on one side because this is the thick batter. It takes a little bit of time, as well as you want to make sure the temperature is on medium and not the high, otherwise it will burn. After 2 to 3 minutes, now I'm gonna go ahead and turn them on the other side and let the other side cook for another 2 to 3 minutes. And my vada came out so good. I absolutely love this recipe. I make this at least once a month because again, everyone in my family, they love this so much. And now I'm gonna take the vadas out because as you can see, they are all cooked. All the vadais is ready now, so I'm gonna go ahead and prepare the bread. For that, I'm using this hamburger roll. Into this pan, I'm gonna add about tablespoon of butter, and once the butter melts, I'm gonna add the bread on top of that. The reason I'm doing this so the butter flavor can go into the bread, as well as I'm looking for a little bit of crispiness here. So we're gonna lightly toast the bread on both sides less than a minute, and then I'm gonna take this bread out. Into the same pan again, I'm gonna add another tablespoon of butter. Once that butter melts, I'm gonna add tablespoon of garlic chutney into this. After adding the garlic chutney, I'm gonna add splash of water into this, and the reason I'm adding the water is because my garlic chutney is dry. So I'm making sure that all the spices doesn't get burned, so that's the reason I'm adding a little bit of water here. And now I'm gonna put the bread on top of the chutney. So that way the chutney can get absorbed into the bread. And now after just keeping there for less than a minute, as you can see all the chutneys there onto the bread, and now I'm gonna put the vadas and just gently press it. So that's it. Our Friday's dinner is all done. This is what I serve to my family from Monday to Friday for dinner. I hope you like this video. Please do not forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.